Hi viewers, I am Sayyid Muhammad Ajmal Rahim, astrologer from Pakistan, and going to explore, predict about various aspects of Mr. Donald Trump. Though he is a well-known personality and very successful businessman who has created his own empire known as Trump Empire, but I will try my best to get as close as possible to reality and bring out those aspects of his personality that are hidden from the public eyes. This is actually the core of my expertise to dig out the concealed characteristics, to expose what is hidden behind the curtains. If you look the horoscope, which I am displaying, Mr. Donald Trump, if if you look the horoscope of Mr. Donald Trump, which is being displayed on the screen, you will easily understand what I am going to explain. First, I would like to tell the position of planet when he was born. He was born on 14 June 1946 as a Gemini, and as the date of birth he has been taken from his official website. So let's start uncovering various aspects of his personality through horoscope. If you look the horoscope, you can see very clearly that he has Sun with Rahu in his first house, which is Gemini. He has three planets in his second house, which are Mercury, Venus, and Saturn in Cancer. His third house is Leo, where Mars has occupied position. The Jupiter is lying in his fifth house, which is Libra, and in his seventh house is Sagittarius, where the moon is placed with Ketu. From this analysis, it can be easily said that he is bestowed extraordinary talent, and he used to promote his position in the value. Whatever I am going to predict is based entirely on the position of Sun being ascendant. The first house is Gemini, and he possesses very important trait of his characters. Mr. Donald Trump has a very interesting personality. Note that he is the most powerful man on the earth. People are very inquisitive about his personality, especially about the prediction in the context of his future. I will begin describing some interesting attributes of his personality, and then I will discuss his future, emphasizing the precautions and best suited line of action that he should take in order to prosper and more successful. He is mentally highly alert. His mental alertness is evident from the fact that he shows quick response, and he has good reflex action. In case of emergency, he thinks quickly and takes action without losing time. His power of assessing a situation is pretty good. He is extremely vigilant and good observer. He is watchful, is always aware of his surroundings. He possesses a curious nature and is fond of solving puzzles. He takes interest in other affairs. He cannot stop himself from prying in others' people matters, and has habits of probing and questioning in matters that may not directly related to him. He is generally soft-spoken and converses in a decent way without being rude. He has an ability to mold himself according to the prevailing situation. He is fond of reading books and tries to keep his knowledge updated. He knows the art of chatting and is rarely talkative. When in full form, can talk for long. He selectively addresses big gatherings to promote his party interest, but he feels more comfortable when he is among his own acquaintance. Here, one thing is very important, that Rahu being with ascendant, his sun is negative, which means that no favors from father, elder brother. Thus, he is advised to avoid conflicts with them. While sleeping, a part of mind is so active that the dreams are like movies and can be recalled on waking up. Headache and weak eyesight can be source of discomfort and problem. It is therefore suggested that the blood circulatory system should be closely monitored. There are chances of migraine, jaundice, and bone fractures, so caution is advised. the person never feel comfortable in government job. I want to tell important thing that as a son is with Rahu, that this has made him a very good planner and he can plot scheme that can easily obtain most favorable results from his adversaries. He can come out unscathed in the end of because no one can find out who is behind such tricky strategies. There is a tendency of having intimate relations and hidden affairs with people from lower social status. Mr. Trump's horoscope shows that he has moon in seventh house, which is Sagittarius, and this indicates that he got married when he was young and that his wife was pretty. It is also revealed that he is admired in his own circle and that he owns an empire spread over the world. His moon in Sagittarius showing that he is always optimistic and hopeful and sees only the brighter side of the picture. He has childlike innocence. He possesses reverences of our elders, religious men and gurus and gives them due respect. His posture is always upright and rarely found sitting in a bending position. Here one thing is very important to mention that his horoscope, he has Ketu with his moon and this has made the seventh house negative, and this further indicates that he is very clever and self-serving. He is very sensitive. He does not have a good relationship with mother, wife and elder sister, even elder daughter. He goes in depression suddenly and is extremely sensitive. Constant monitoring of blood sugar level and kidney function tests are advised. It is also advised that the person must get involved in creative activities when in a state of depression. Caution is advised when dealing with spouse. Mars in third house, which is Leo, which indicates that he is a courteous and turns out to be successful in majority ventures he takes up. He possesses the qualities of being confident, keen, alert, resourceful, argumentative, and at the same time diplomatic. All these qualities enable him to overpower his enemies and turn out to be successful. Much courage gained in all times. Success over enemies, confident, keen, alert, resourceful, argumentative, and diplomatic. He has Mars in Leo, and because of this, he is always innovative, and adores creativity. His creative nature is consistent, and all the time his mind looks for new things. Self-confidence is his plus point. Trump is also gained prominence in media and entertainment from 2003 to 2015. He was a producer and host a TV program, The Apprentice, a reality television game show. He is a passionate person, but at the same time he has a tendency of giving himself too much importance. Although he has great regard and respect for elders, he cannot stop himself for arguing with others. This makes him somewhat arrogant and egoistic because at the time he starts thinking too much himself. Mercury in his second house in Cancer indicates that his communicative skill can be deployed to earn money. This is what he has been doing past. He will keep doing this in future too. He has retentive memory, so he does not forget things quickly. He gives weightage to other people's opinions. In second house, Mercury is with Saturn confirmed in his some negative attributes such as sometimes being disobedient, pessimist and nervous. At times of his experience inferiority complex, and even he has rare tendency to cheat others. He is eloquent and is not only a good writer but also an excellent orator. Here, Venus is positive in second house. He does not have good relation with mother, wife, and elder sisters. He has a tendency to go in depression suddenly and extremely sensitive. He must get involved in creative activities when in state of depression. Caution is advised when dealing with spouse. Jupiter is in his fifth house in Libra, which reveals that he is intelligent and has high intuitive powers that due to this quality his action work well in future scenario. He thinks big and acts big and happily plunges into a large scale venture. He likes to live in his life to the fullest. He is too fond of fame and popularity and possesses a social prestige which is maintained at any cost. He remains happy in gambling, recreation, and aggressive sports. He believes in justice and fair play and doesn't like when people practice corruption. He has a philosophical outlook, and people usually take an impression about him as a person who does a deep thinking. He is highly dependent on others, but at the same time, he is open minded and liberal and progressive as well as courteous. Jupiter being positive, he is very social and enjoys getting involved in social work. Humanitarian approach is evident from the fact that person goes out of the way help anyone who is caught in a problematic and odd condition. There is a religious touch with the positive approach. Special interest is taken in a justice and law. There is a special desire to learn ancient and different language, fond of visiting ancient and historical places. High quality of tea is enjoyed, prefer to wear ready-made and branded clothes. Has special liking for sweet things. Venus in the second house depicts a person with big eyes and clever speech. Such person enjoys luxury, women and wealth. He possesses strong sensuality, tendency for indulgence and expensive habits. Highly expectation from beauty and material possessions. He is passionate and emotional, rather over emotional. He is indecisive about the love, and this behavior is reflected in the relationship which he has. His relationship may changeable and inconsistent, and with many persons as well. Venus with Saturn indicates that married life is full of trials and tribulations, such depression and misfortunes. He can suffer from low blood pressure, although there may be popularity, but this is accompanied with disagreements and conflicts in married life. Venus is very positive, reveals that he is fond of luxurious life and prefer to live in a high standard hotel. Dairy products, especially milk and products derived from milk, are favorite. Good relations are exercised with mother-in-law. The person is expected to do well in politics and is highly capable of handling finances and dealing in the sector that involves buying and selling. The person is very close to youngest daughter and sister. Saturn in the second house is responsible for giving wealth slowly and steadily, but once wealth comes in possession, it lasts long. Maybe financial constraint too. The bad aspects include getting entangled in the web of debates, diminishing beauty, lacks of family comforts, and domestic disharmony. Excuse me. He gains popularity and fame. Saturn in Cancer reflects that he is a jealous person, suspicious, and has a calculating mind who enjoys luxury at the cost of others. He possesses a restless mind, feeble constitution, enjoying luxuries at the cost of others. This is why graduated in 1968 with Bachelor of Science in Economics. This indicates possibilities of disease of eyes, genital organ, and bladder. Rahu in his first house in Gemini. Rahu is the first house, results in a weak health. He faces many consequences by family He is talkative as well as a deep thinker. He has unprincipled, rigid nature, and he is inclined to acquire very thing for himself and enjoy self-protection. The position of Rahu in Gemini means that troubles and worries are being inflicted on him by enemies, some government functionaries and relatives. Ketu is in seventh house, leads troubled married life. Usually he enjoys the company of women from showbiz. He has a tendency to suffer from urinary tract infection. He uses harsh words with his spouse. He is liable to have accident in contest with water. He works at a responsible position and gains good reputation. He is known to have association with saints. He remains happy by arranging function at home. His first wife had both negative and positive attributes, and I will discuss one by one in the light of horoscope and numerology. The positive character of first married partner. His first wife was beautiful, respectable, and virtuous person. She was generous, optimistic, and good-natured partner who was inclined towards religion. She was law-abiding citizen and was a person with qualities to run a perfect house. And her negative characters, she was middle-aged, unfortunate in her married life. So he is expert. Mr. Donald Trump is expert in planning over and convert operations against his adversaries and achieve the desired result. He is capable of overturning any intrigue his adversaries plan against him. It is due to this attribute that he has tendency of having hidden affairs with women from showbiz. Before entering politics, he was a big businessman owning Trump Empire and television personality. He took over his family real estate business in 1971 due to Saturn and Mercury in his second house, which is earning house. Saturn deals with the land and Mercury related to commercial property. His Venus is positive in second house and also indication that before entering politics, he was a most successful business and television personality. He is also involved in construction of high-rise buildings, skyscrapers, hotels, casinos, and golf courses. Trump also started various side ventures, including branding and licensing his name for real estate and luxury consumer products. It's all due to powerful Venus. Trump has been married their time and has 5 children as well as 9 grandchildren. His first 2 marriages ended in divorce and were publicized a lot on social media. Trump has shown interest in show business, and this is reflect from the fact that the married lady who was a model. Trump does not drink alcohol. This decision arose in part from watching his older brother, Fred Jr., who suffered from alcoholism that contributed to his early death in 1981. He also said that he has never smoked cigarette or consumed drugs, including marijuana. Trump began his career at his father's real estate development company in 1968, but he actually became billionaire during the late 1980s. He has some business losses from 90 to 95. However, from 94 to 2000, he became the owner of share of some company. Trump's political position have been described as populist, protectionist, and nationalist. He entered the 2016 president race as a Republican and was elected in supervised victory of Democratic nominees Hillary Clinton. Although he lost the popular vote, he became the oldest first-term U.S. president and the first without prior military or government service. His election and politics have sparked numerous protests. Trump has made many false or misleading statements during his campaign and presidency. The statement have been documented by fact checkers, and the media have widely described the phenomena as unprecedented in American politics. Many of his commands and action have been criticized as racially charged or racist. Now I will discuss about his future. The election is on ahead. Current position of Donald Trump is very interesting and amazing. Rahu conjunction in his first house, Saturn in ninth house, in Aquarius in his own house, Jupiter in his eighth house, and Capricorn, which will move in Aquarius, will make the Saturn more powerful. If see from moon position, Rahu is in the seventh house with Ketu is in seventh house with the natal Rahu, and Saturn in 11th house, which indicates that he will win the election successfully by hook and crook. It will be sudden gain. As far as politics is concerned, he will strongly politically and will continue ruling the world. He is extraordinary genius planner of good and bad ideas and has all ability to rule and command the world. I have tried my best to describe Donald Trump's personality based on the horoscope that I made to give you a wide picture of his personality, his inherent nature, and especially those sides of his personality that are hidden from the public eyes. By now you must have understood why and how he has been successful so far. I predicted more successes for him in future as well. So at the end, I finally predict that in next coming election, he definitely win his position and next president, and he will become our next president of USA. This is my prediction about Donald Trump. At the end, I beg permission from you. I hope you will enjoy this description and subscribe my channel and press the icon bell and do comment in a comment box so that I can get your views. At the end, allow me, Allah Hafiz.